A mother cat named Lily had always been protective of her small family. She lived on the outskirts of a dense, tropical forest, in a small cottage nestled beneath the towering trees. Lily had always been independent, but after the loss of her previous litter, she was alone and heartbroken. Her heart longed for the warmth of her kittens, and so, when she found herself unexpectedly pregnant again, she was overjoyed. Her two new kittens, Daisy and Leo, were the light of her life. One fateful day, while out hunting in the nearby forest, Lily came across something unusual. She was scurrying along the underbrush when a soft sound reached her ears, an almost imperceptible whimpering. Following the sound, she found an injured tiger cub, no more than a few weeks old. Its fur was a deep orange, dotted with dark stripes, but it was so small and weak. The cub's eyes were shut tight, its body trembling as it lay motionless beneath a bush. Lily froze, her heart racing. The forest was full of dangers, and a tiger cub alone could not survive. It had clearly been abandoned. Its mother was nowhere to be seen, and Lily was unsure what to do. Her maternal instincts kicked in, however, as she gently nudged the cub with her nose. The tiny creature's chest rose and fell weakly as it whimpered again, its eyes flickering open for a moment before closing once more. Lily's heart broke. She knew what she had to do. Despite her small size, she gently picked up the cub in her mouth, cradling it carefully. It felt so fragile in her grasp, but there was something inside her that told her she could protect it. She carried the cub back to her cottage, feeling a surge of determination. Once home, she nestled the tiger cub beside her own kittens, Daisy and Leo. At first, the kittens were curious and cautious, sniffing the new arrival with a mix of fascination and suspicion. But when Lily began to nurse the cub alongside them, Daisy and Leo quickly accepted the new family member. The tiger cub, who Lily named Rex, began to thrive under the care of his adoptive mother. Months passed, and Rex grew stronger. Though he remained smaller than most tiger cubs of his age, his fur was a striking contrast to the sleek and soft fur of Lily's kittens, but his size and strength were undeniable. As he grew older, it became clear that his instincts were different. Unlike the other kittens, Rex was more daring, more wild. He would leap around the cottage, his powerful muscles rippling beneath his coat. Sometimes, his playful roughhousing would get out of hand, and he would knock things over. But Lily never scolded him. She just nudged him gently with her paw and reminded him to be careful. As the months passed, Rex's nature became even more apparent. While Daisy and Leo were content to play with each other and explore the safety of their home, Rex was always pushing boundaries. He began to venture deeper into the forest, drawn to the sounds of the wild. Lily was often torn between wanting to protect him and letting him experience the world on his own terms. She knew that Rex was destined for something more than their quiet life in the cottage, but she feared that his size and strength would one day put him at odds with the creatures of the forest. One evening, as Lily sat watching her kittens play near the edge of the forest, Rex came bounding toward her, his tail high with excitement. "Mom, look what I found," he called out. He had something in his mouth, something small and fragile. As he dropped it at Lily's feet, she gasped. It was a baby deer, no more than a few weeks old. The deer was still breathing but clearly injured. Lily's heart sank. Rex's hunting instincts were sharp, but he had no idea what he had done. The mother deer was nowhere in sight, and the small creature was helpless. "Rex, why did you bring this to me?" Lily asked, her voice filled with a mix of concern and love. Rex looked at her with wide eyes, his ears drooping. "I didn't mean to hurt it, Mom. I thought it was lost like me." Lily's instincts kicked in. She scooped up the fawn with her paws and carried it gently to a small clearing in the forest. She set it down carefully and licked its wounds, doing her best to calm it. "Rex, you have to understand. The creatures of the forest have their place, just like we do. We can't take from them unless it's necessary. You're not a hunter yet. You're a protector." Rex's ears flattened against his head. He didn't fully understand, but he trusted his mother. He sat down beside her, his large body still dwarfing her smaller frame. Weeks passed, and Rex continued to grow. His body became more muscular, his movements more graceful and controlled. He was no longer the tiny cub that Lily had found. He was becoming a tiger, and Lily knew that soon, his wild nature would become harder to tame. One afternoon, as Lily and her kittens were taking a nap, a loud crash woke them all. The sound of growls echoed through the forest, followed by the unmistakable scent of wolves. "Rex, now nearly the size of a fully grown lion, immediately leaped to his feet. "Mom, I'll protect you," he roared, his eyes burning with determination. Lily's heart pounded as she saw the pack of wolves emerging from the trees. There were at least 5 of them, their eyes gleaming with hunger. Rex stood in front of her, his large body poised and ready to defend. "Rex, stay back," Lily commanded. "There are too many," but Rex didn't listen. He charged forward with a ferocity that took even Lily by surprise. His roar shook the trees as he leaped at the nearest wolf, knocking it to the ground. The other wolves circled, but Rex's strength and speed kept them at bay. Lily watched in awe as her son fought, his instincts now fully realized. He was no longer the helpless cub she had found all those months ago. He was a mighty predator. With one final swipe of his powerful claws, he sent the last of the wolves fleeing into the forest, their tails between their legs. Panting, Rex turned to Lily, his chest heaving with the adrenaline of the fight. "I did it, Mom. I protected you," Lily's eyes filled with tears. "You did, Rex. You truly did," but deep down, she knew that this was the moment when her little cub would no longer be her baby. He was a tiger now, and his place in the world would soon lead him away from their home. As the seasons passed, Lily watched Rex grow into a magnificent adult tiger. His muscles rippled beneath his fur, his eyes gleamed with wisdom, but there was a sadness in them. Rex knew that his place was no longer with Lily and her kittens. The jungle was calling to him, and he knew that it was time to leave. One day, as the sun began to set, Rex came to Lily one last time. "Mom," he said quietly, "I have to go. The jungle needs me, but I'll never forget you. You gave me a family when I had none." Lily nodded, tears rolling down her cheeks. "I'll never forget you either, Rex. You'll always be my cub." With a final nuzzle, Rex turned and disappeared into the dense jungle. Lily stood there for a long time, her heart heavy, but proud. She had raised a tiger, but more importantly, she had raised a son who understood the true meaning of family, strength, and love. And as Rex led the charge to protect the jungle, his massive form cutting through the underbrush with the power and grace of a true predator, Lily watched from the safety of her home, nestled deep within the heart of the forest. The familiar sounds of the jungle, rustling leaves, chirping birds, the soft hum of the wind had taken on a new weight, a new urgency. She could hear the distant roars and calls of animals rallying to Rex's side, a unified force working in harmony to defend their world from the destructive human machines that threatened it. In the cool, shadowed quiet of her home, Lily's heart swelled with pride, but also with a deep, bittersweet ache. She had raised this tiger, this magnificent creature who now stood as the protector of their home, a being that was as much part of the jungle as the trees that towered above. When Rex moved through the forest, it was as though he was one with it, his movements smooth and calculated, each step purpose-driven. He didn't need to roar or strike fear into the hearts of his enemies. His very presence commanded respect. He understood the delicate balance of the jungle better than anyone, knowing that true strength wasn't about destruction, but preservation. Lily, though far removed from the chaos of the jungle's battle, knew that Rex's leadership wasn't just born of his physical prowess, but also from the lessons she had instilled in him. She had raised him with a mother's love, nurturing him not to be a mere beast of the wild, but to be a protector of all life, big and small. Rex's strength was tempered by the kindness she had shown him, the understanding that true leadership wasn't about domination, it was about guiding others, about making difficult choices for the good of all. As Rex led the charge, weaving through the dense foliage and organizing the jungle's creatures into an unspoken, coordinated force, Lily felt a deep sense of peace. She had done the impossible. She had raised a tiger to be more than just a predator. He had become a protector, a leader, and above all, a symbol of family that transcended all boundaries. She had given him the ability to balance both the ferocity of his tiger nature and the gentleness of her teachings. Rex was not only the mighty king of the jungle, he was a guardian of everything that was pure and sacred within it. In the shadows of her home, she whispered softly to herself, "You are my greatest gift, Rex. Go protect what we've all fought for," and with that, she let the forest embrace him once more, knowing that, no matter what happened, the love and lessons that bound them would never be broken.